Portland will be the 18th team in Major League Soccer.
It's the City Portland's championship.
It is great to be home.
Sports Sunday with Orlando Sanchez.
What is good, everyone? Welcome to Sports Sunday. My name is Orlando, joined by the one and only Art Edwards.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing this evening?
Man, I'm feeling good tonight.
Yes, we got a good show, too, man. There is a lot to get to. Coming up tonight, Art, are we back on Dame time?
I think so.
Yeah, the star in Rip City has his best game of the season. Meantime, the Seahawks' biggest star may be thinking, did he come back too soon?
Maybe.
Another rough outing for Russell Wilson and company. Ouch! And in order to keep our producer Craig happy, we're required to mention Washington State's blowout victory over Arizona. They still have a shot to win the North.
What?
That is crazy, right?
Yes.
Darkness, Art.
Oh. Look at
Here's
that.
the occasion. Are you ready for this?
I guess so.
Well, there's no easy way to say this, Ducks Nation. To quote the boys to men, we've come to the end of the road.
Yes, we have.
We're gathered here today to say goodbye to Oregon's chances at the college football playoff. But don't cry. Art, don't do it, man. There's no crying on Sports Sunday. Let's remember the good times.
Yes.
You know that trip to the Horseshoe?
Yeah.
A goal line stand against Cal? A rivalry win on a rainy day up north. They can't take those memories from you.
No, they can't.
The national championship will have to wait because Novembers have been cruel to those Oregon Ducks.
Ooh, yes.
It's the 6th straight season suffering a meaningful loss in November.
Painful.
Yes, and Art, this one, tough to swallow. The third-ranked Ducks, playoff hopes shattered in Salt Lake City in front of a national audience. A game they were never in.
Nope.
The most lopsided loss of the Mario Cristobal era, losing 38-7. The Utes were 11 of 14 on third down. They were running all over the Ducks. And the U of O's rushing attack was nowhere to be found, locked up for a season-low 63 yards, while special teams delivered the knockout blow just before halftime as Britton Covey, 73-yard punt return, gave the Utes a 28-0 lead and never looked back. The Ducks fall to 9-2 on the season. Head coach Mario Cristobal sums up that 31-point beatdown.
Everybody's upset. Everybody's upset and disappointed, like we should be. It should burn. It should hurt a ton. These guys are competitors, and it's hard because we've taken a lot of pride in being resilient and being able to bounce back from adversity. And tonight, we didn't do a good enough job.
All right, Art, what do you take away from this one?
Really bad game at the wrong time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, a quality team. So they probably have played poorly in other games, but they've been able to hold on because the opponents weren't all that good. We talked about them playing down to the opponent.
Right.
Unfortunately, this time they played a really good team. I mean, it was always going to be a tough one, and they played a really good team, and they just weren't there for us.
Yeah, was there anything that stood out to you specifically in this performance? Because you mentioned the playing up, the playing down, the inconsistencies, and you said it was only a matter of time before it bites them.
Yeah, well, the mistakes, because I think that as we watched this, they were in the red zone at least twice, and a third time, down way in Utah territory, and they came away with no points.
Right. They had the missed field goal.
Right.
They had a blocked field goal. So, yeah, you've got to cash in.
Absolutely.
Or else it snowballs, and then you're in trouble.
Yes, and then there were some penalties that stalled another one of the drives. So, all of a sudden, instead of it being maybe a 14-7 game or a 21-14 game, you're down 28-0.
And we were saying in the newsroom, just take a knee at the end of the first
Oh,
half. Instead, they punted away, gave them that opportunity.
Yeah.
Lights out.
Absolutely.
Okay, Art, I'm going to brighten the mood around here. See, it's no longer darkness.
Thankfully, yes.
We're working. We've got better lighting now. Different kind of vibe in Corvallis. Oregon State Beavers playing host to the Arizona State Sun Devils in their final home game of the season. The Beavs turning back the clock, honoring the 2001 Fiesta Bowl championship team. And, oh, man, they were rocking those throwback uniforms. I loved it. The Beavers took control in the first half. Trayshawn Harrison shaking and baking. Beavers took a 17-0 lead, And the defense was great on third down. And when the game got close, the Beavs came up with the big play on fourth down. There he is, the Camas papermaker, jack of all trades, Jack Coletto dropping the hammer. 47-yard touchdown. And the Beavers win 24-10, picking up their 7th W of the season. They go undefeated at home for the first time since 2000.
It's honestly crazy because when I look back in 2018, just where we were and the amount of work that needed to be done and to be a part of that process and the rebuild and the change.
You know, Beaver Nation has supported us through a lot of tough years. So, you know, being able to, you know, take care of business in front of them, it means a lot.
Man, Art, what impressed you most, not only in this game, but for the season so far?
Well, you know, all season is that they really have come through most of the time when they needed to come through, and they come up with some big games. You know, the Utah win was a big win.
Totally.
They were able to get Arizona State, the beatdown of USC. Mm-hmm. So they've really done some really cool things. You know, we really have felt like, I think, most of the season that they've turned the corner.
Yeah, this is their breakthrough year. At the beginning of the year, you and I sat here and talked about, are they going to win those close games? That's what's been holding them back. And to finally get that 6th win, that marquee win to say, we're going bowling, that was such a huge deal. It felt like all of the pressure was off of them after that.
And it was great to see them beat Arizona State because this was a game that, you know, on paper they didn't really need. They were already bowl eligible. But you want to keep that momentum going as you get to the last game.
Oh, man. All right, one more question for you before we talk about that. You think Jonathan Smith wins Coach of the Year in the Pac-12 Conference?
I think there's a good chance he does. Maybe with Utah's head coach. Maybe give it to both of them. They both deserve it.
The decisions that Jonathan Smith has made,
the
Oregonian touched on this. He's made some tough choices there. Benching Sam Neuer, going with Chance Nolan at quarterback, and then also firing his defensive coordinator.
Yes.
Those are big moves.
Big moves.
And right now, they're on track.
Paying off.
All right, Art, it is rivalry week. And for the first time in years, there's something more than just bragging rights on the line.
Oh, yeah.
A Ducks victory secures the North Division and a berth in the Pac-12 title game for a rematch with Utah.
I like that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Well, if the Beavers win, they earn at least a share of the North Division. They'll need Washington to beat Washington State on Friday to have a shot at the conference championship. So a little help.
Yeah, need it.
The Ducks are 7-point favorites in this game. Kickoff Saturday, 12:30 at Autzen Stadium. Art, who you got?
I'm picking Oregon only because it's at Autzen Stadium.
Yeah, that was going to be that's where I was going with this because Oregon State's been a little rocky on the road.
Yes.
And Oregon's been really good at home.
Yes. Yeah.
That's setting up to be a good one.
I'm
looking forward to being out there.
Fun.
All right, Art. Well, we've still got more Sports Sunday to come.
Oh, yeah.
That includes more football. Best game of the day in the NFL saw a nail-biter between the Packers and Vikings. Plus, speaking of Minnesota, they were in town for the MLS playoffs. How the Timbers took care of business to advance to the conference semifinals. Gio's fired up. So should you. We'll see you on the other side. And welcome back. Playoff football in Soccer City. The Portland Timbers playing host to Minnesota United to kick off the MLS postseason.
Maybe Felipe Morat knowing his time is almost up. This is Blanco. Yes! Simply irresistible.
Just filthy. Sebastian Blanco, playing through a back injury, lifted the Timbers to victory, scoring 2 goals. Portland defeats Minnesota United 3-1 in front of 22,000 at Providence Park, advancing to the Western Conference semifinals. They'll host the top seed Colorado Rapids on Thursday. What a game.
Oh, yeah.
You love to see it in Soccer City. All right, Art, the Seattle Seahawks went into today's home game against the Arizona Cardinals in desperation mode. Coming off a shutout loss last week to the Packers, they had to come up with something, man.
They did.
Well, some hope because the Cardinals were without starter Kyler Murray. Seattle's Russell Wilson back for the 2nd straight game after finger surgery. Seahawks made the Cardinals back up. Colt McCoy looked like a Hall of Famer. Threw for 328 yards, 2 touchdowns. McCoy went into this game 2-0 as a starter against Seattle. He's their kryptonite, man. He beat him in 2011 and in 2020 with different teams. The Cardinals built a 13-6 lead, and the Seahawks, they finally scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter, their first TD in 7 quarters. Longest TD drought since 2018. That pulled them to within 3, but the Cardinals put together a 67-yard scoring drive to seal the deal. Arizona wins 23-13. They have the best record in the league at 8-2. Seattle, 3-7.
There's still belief in us, without a doubt, and what we can do. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. It's going to be possible too. And so that's what we realize. It's still possible, And so for us, I think you have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right belief. There is no other thought and other choice.
Art, you agree or disagree with Russ?
He's dreaming.
Oh, they're done.
They're done.
Ouch. All right, well, how about we take a trip around the NFL? This was a day for upsets.
Oh, yeah.
So we start in Orchard Park, New York, Bills hosting Colts. On paper, this looked like a certain Bills W, right?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody forgot to tell the Colts, and Jonathan Taylor, the Colts running back, went off. 185 yards on the ground, 4 running TDs, and another one receiving. That's 5 total.
Whew.
Colts roll 41-15.
All right, let's take a trip to Nashville, the Music City for the Titans and the Texans. Houston went into the game with only 1 win. They came out with 2, all because of Tyrod Taylor. Taylor used his legs to power the Titans to victory. He ran, or the Texans, he ran for a couple of touchdowns. Yeah, that was cool.
Got hops.
Oh, yeah. And he helped, it was helped out by Ryan Tannehill throwing 4 interceptions. Texas wins at 22-13.
Okay, well, let's make a move to Minneapolis for a battle between the Vikings and Packers. Oh, this one was crazy, man. Packers looked like they made the comeback. 75-yard touchdown pass with just over 2 minutes left in the game. That tied it up at 31. But they left too much time on the clock.
Oh, yeah.
So the Vikings in business. Greg Joseph, 29 yards out. Money. Vikings win 34-31 over the Packers.
All right, let's travel to the Midwest, Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Big-time matchup between the Chiefs and the Cowboys. The Chiefs, hey, they just controlled this game. They got on the board first on a Travis Kelce run. Looked like Jack Coletto there, and they never trailed. The defense came up big with 5 sacks. I thought they couldn't play defense there in Kansas City. Chiefs back in the hunt for the top team in the AFC after that 19-9 win over Dallas.
Remember what everyone counted out the Chiefs a few weeks ago?
Yes, I do.
Well, they're back.
Yeah.
Okay, we wrapped up the season of Friday Night Flights with a bang. Led by this man, Michael Rincon, with not 1, but 5 touchdown runs, 217 yards to lead Jesuit to a 56-49 win. I checked with Vinny Iyer. He says most leagues won't let you add Rincon to your fantasy football roster. It's just not possible. Sorry, folks.
Oh, well.
But thanks to everyone for your support of Friday Night Flights. Hey, but don't worry. We ain't done yet. You got it. Friday Night Hoops is back. Our 4th season tips off Friday, January 7th, right here on KGW. It's the only game in town for high school basketball, plus Blazers and college hoops.
Oh, yeah.
We will see you right here after the new year.
And you're having to figure out all these responsibilities, and DTR leaps into the end zone.
He does a 16-yard scamper there.
Wow.
Come on, man.
That was UCLA's Dorian Thompson-Robinson with the hurdle on the sensational touchdown run. He made that look so easy. The Bruins put 62 on USC in their rivalry game. Thompson-Robinson ran for 2 scores, ran for 4. He had 6 touchdowns, running and passing. And it's your Toyota Sunday Sizzle.
Oh, poor guy thinks he has a tackle there.
Yeah.
Oh, not so fast. All right, Art, there is no place like home for the Portland Trail Blazers. Nearly unbeatable at the Moda Center. And they continued the trend, winning their 8th straight home game last night, facing a struggling Philadelphia 76ers, playing without Joel Embiid. Well, the Blazers, they had their best player.
Oh, yeah.
And he put together his best game of the season. Damian Lillard dropped 39 points on him, and the Blazers get the dub. 118-111. Portland riding a 3-game win streak. They improved to 9-8. They'll host the Nuggets Tuesday. Lillard back?
Yes, he is.
Oh, I like it. So does Rip City, man.
Yeah. Hey, the Oregon State men's soccer team opened up the NCAA tournament at home against St. John's tonight. Beavers, the overall #1 seed in the tournament, and they came through with a win. Javier Armas scored from distance. He was a long way out when he knocked that in. That was in the 85th minute, make it 2-0. The Beavers advanced to play New Hampshire next.
Through the fog, man.
Melcher.
And congratulations to the Camas girls soccer team winning the Washington 4A championship. They went to penalty kicks, but Nora Melcher, she scored the clincher. Camas 1-0, 4-2 in the shootout. Papermakers end their season with a perfect 22-0 record.
Nice.
Well, the level of competition doesn't get any tougher.
No, it does not.
For the 9th-ranked Oregon Ducks today. They took on #1 South Carolina in the second round of the Battle for Atlantis tournament in the Bahamas. The Ducks had 4 players score in double figures, but a rough start in the first quarter had them playing from behind the rest of the way, and South Carolina hands U of O its first loss of the season. Final count 80-63.
Hey, the Oregon State men's basketball team looks like they may have found a point guard in freshman Deshaun Davis. Scored 16 points, had 5 assists, but that was today. But they're a struggling team. The Beavers lost to Princeton today, 81-80. Second 1-point loss in a row at home. Oregon State falls to 1-4 on the season.
All right, let's talk a little more football. Regular season finale for Portland State Vikings hosting 5th-ranked Eastern Washington at Hillsborough Stadium. The Vikes started strong. Davis Alexander connects with Darian Chase. We're familiar with his work.
Oh, yeah.
PSU on top 14-7, but that wasn't enough to stop the high-powered offense of Eastern Washington. Eagles win 42-28. PSU ends the year 5-6, 4-4 in conference.
Not bad. Hey, let's roll on to McMinnville in the playoffs.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Playoffs. Linfield Wildcats opened up the Division III playoffs by crushing University of Redlands from California 44-10. Linfield remains undefeated and ranked amongst the top 10 teams in America. They moved to the second round, but they got to play on the road against a team in Wisconsin.
Oh,
yeah.
And welcome back to Sports Sunday. The Portland Winterhawks made some history on Friday night. They went to a shootout with Kelowna at Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Jaden Garreau starts the shootout right with that goal. And by the way, goaltender Dante Giannuzzi, he did the job in goal. It was the 1,000th on home ice for the Winterhawks. Art, I see you flexing.
Yeah.
Flexing. That is awesome to see, man.
And that really is. I tell you, the saves that he made in that shootout were just unbelievable.
Yes, it's good to see them doing their thing.
You know, it really is. It's so much fun to go to those games. The fans are just wild.
I agree.
You know, they got the cowbells going and all kinds of stuff. It is just, it's big fun going to a Winterhawks.
And I like that too, because they make sure you know about them. Like,
yes, they do.
We got to get the Winterhawks on Sports Sunday. So
yes.
Mission accomplished. They're doing their
Absolutely.
thing. Number 1,000 there, man.
That's a lot of wins.
All right, Art, I've been waiting this week. I'm ready to eat.
You know what?
You ready for Thanksgiving, man?
I'm ready. I'm going out to buy the turkey tonight.
Oh, I like that, man. Bring over the leftovers. We'll eat it here at the station. Happy early Thanksgiving to everyone out there. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night, y'all.